All right, we're talking trading strategies today, guys. Let's talk about lower volatility markets and range-bound markets, and specifically different strategies that we can employ when the market is not trending. Specifically, we're going to discuss how lower volatility comes into play during those times, entries and exits that you can use yourself, and also how do we control risk during this time. Sean's going to kick things off here and talk a little bit about time of day and also what we can do during periods when the market, as I said, is kind of just chopping around going sideways.
Right, exactly. So I'm actually going to use, I know you teed it up there, Brendan, with the market. I'm just going to give an example here with Palantir and just talk about, right now the NASDAQ is near highs. We could talk about the NASDAQ coming through, big time movement. I mean, we can even look at that right now. The NQ's just now making all-time highs in the last couple of weeks there on the NASDAQ. This is still the Palantir chart. Hold on a second, there it is. Let's go, here it is. So making moves right now, we're near the highs. So what I'm always going to look for when we're doing these kind of plays is really just to go long. I think that that's part of it. When you're scalping, you kind of got to have a bias in one direction. So right now, as you can see, the volatility, although not crazy, volatility tends not to spike, obviously, on the VIX as the markets are going upside. So you can see here, nice movement. So I've already picked my position, right? So let me put back over to Palantir here, which sometimes takes a minute to change. We'll do that right here. And then we call up the Palantir chart. So here it is. It's very similar. Obviously, it's not near highs, but Palantir is starting to go to the upside. So that leads me over to say, all right, so now I'm going to try to scalp. I'm going to try to scalp some ranges here and figure out what we want to do with Palantir. So Neil's going to talk more about a little bit about time of day, but I'll sort of cheat a little bit here. You don't really want to start scalping back and forth right at the open. You want to let it build some levels. So with that being said, we're looking long, and I always like to look long at quarter points. So 75, 25, 50s, or evens. So what we actually see Palantir develop here is a little bit up and down in the morning. You can see 26 right there, dropping back down to 25.70. So we already have about a quarter worth of range. So we never really see that again. So we're gonna up our levels and just try to start playing longs on any dips down to use this bottom as our out. So we start to build some longs. As it starts to go to the upside here, buying there, 83 again, that's the bottom. You see that hit again at 83 again. And now we're starting to break down. But what you're trying to do is basically go upside and then identify some of these upside trends. So as you let this battle through, take the VWAP break right here. We have that bottom, and you want to go long. So you start to, in here, 75, out at 26, drops back down. You can buy the VWAP again, right back down here to 80. You can get back out at 26 again. Are you going to miss this high move? Of course you are. But look what happens, because you're out, right? You're not trying to go short. Comes back into volume weighted average price again. Basically the same levels, 85s, 83s. You take these longs and you just start to scalp them out at the even pennies again. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I don't have any ticks on this trade right here, but that's the trade you make. And then when it finally breaks, so this is why it's actually good that we're showing this right now. So you have this level that you're looking at here, 85.80. When that finally breaks, then you're trying to say, okay, now that it's breaking down, where do I look? So you're not going to try to average in too much. You're going to wait to see, where's my out? Well, my out's going to be this bottom range. So you're just trying to play within these ranges, scalp out a little bit, and if you took 85 again right here, your out is going to be down here at 70. That's 15 cents. You've made 15 cents over and over here. So that's scalping. It's taking a little bit larger share size and less winners.
Exactly. And sometimes it's about identifying the time of day to do it. I want to start here by showing you the ES, the futures today, because there was a move. A little bit of movement in the day, but we made a high here at 11.15, and then it starts to get range bound. 11.15, and then made a bottom here at a previous high, and that's going to be throughout lunchtime for a couple of hours. And at that same time, the stock, which was very strong, U.S. Steel, up 13, 14% on the session, had put in a top at 27, and then when the futures made that high, had put in a double top. So this establishes the range for you, and then it essentially, when we make that range in the futures to the bottom as well, it holds VWAP, something that Sean also mentioned. What this allows you to do is, I'm going to zoom out a little bit for you to see, is once that's now happened, you're throughout that lunchtime session, the time of the day when volume gets down, and suddenly you've got yourself a nice top at 27 even, which was already established, the future's not breaking out of that range, and then a scalp range down into VWAP. So you know exactly where you're wrong in this particular case. You can be wrong if it breaks 27. You can be wrong if the futures make a fresh high. If you're going into the long trade, you can be wrong if it breaks those 50s or 45s to the downside, or the futures break that range to the bottom. So time of day, you might want to stop doing that when you get into power hour at 3 o'clock, but it gives you that nice multiple hour window during lunchtime where the stock could give you an established range. Because it was so strong and it already made a top and that was confirmed at lunchtime, nice little scalping opportunity for you.
So understand exactly what the overall sentiment for the day is on the instrument that you're looking at, and then we go out and try and find those significant levels. And also understand that during those periods of lower volatility and lower volume, you're not going to get those huge outside moves. So as the guys were saying, we really have to narrow our focus and start to scalp around those levels. Here's Ms. Fee.
Hey guys, thank you for this great explanation. Dear viewers, please subscribe to this channel to see more great videos.